It's been a while, but we are back with The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend. The Adventures of Beekle, the Unimaginary Friend by Stantat. Ooh. He was born on an island far away where imaginary friends were created. Here they lived and played, each eagerly waiting to be imagined by a real child. Wow. Every night he stood under the stars, hoping for his turn to be picked by a child and given a special name. He waited for many nights. But his turn never came. His mind filled with thoughts of all the amazing things that were keeping his friend from imagining him. So rather than waiting, he did the unimaginable. There he goes on his little boat. He sailed through unknown waters and faced many scary things. But thinking about his friend gave him the courage to journey on. Until he reached the real world. See the difference of the colors? Look at how dark and dreary in the real world and how colorful in his world. Colors tell you a lot in a book. The real world was a strange place. No kids were eating cake. Oh, look at all the adults are eating cake though. No one stopped to hear the music, and everyone needed nap time. Then he finally saw something familiar, so he followed. What do you think is familiar in this picture? Do you think it's the people? Do you think it's the dog? Or do you think it's this little creature right here? He had a good feeling about this place. But he looked everywhere, and he could not find his friend. Aww. He climbed to the top of a tree and looked out, wishing and hoping his friend would come. But no one came. See all the star leaves? He thought about how far he'd come and how long he'd waited and felt very sad. Then he heard a noise below. Hello? Looks like he's giving her a paper. Her face was friendly and familiar, and there was something about her that felt just right. Look at that. It's the same as the picture over here. And she drew it. It's like she knew that was going to happen. At first, they weren't sure what to do. Neither of them had a friend before. After a while, they realized, now they're giggling, they were perfect together. So here he is asking a question. She says her name is Alice. He doesn't have a name, so she calls him Beekle. And he says, I'm Beekle. Hi, Beekle. That's her imaginary friend. Beekle and Alice had many new adventures. They shared their snacks. They told funny jokes. Ha 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 ha. The world began to feel a little less strange. Wow, look at all these beautiful pictures she's drawn. Remember, that one was when he left the imaginary or unimaginary, or the imaginary world. And that's where he was looking for the creature in the corner. And together they did the unimaginable. There they go, off on an adventure. The end. I hope you enjoyed that story of the adventures of Beekle, the unimaginary friend.